when you got home, there was a meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clothes was washed.
Yeah.
Kids were
House
taken
was
care
clean.
of.
Yeah.
Kids take care. You got women now that
They
want that
won't
same
even-
thing, and there's nothing done. When you get
No.
home, they're sitting there chilling.
Right. Right.
The house is dirty.
Right.
This is you know.
Right.
So
right.
welcome. How you guys doing? This your boy Be the Gemini, and this is B-Board Entertainment TV. This podcast is 3 Sides of Every Story. We're sponsored and produced by Unique Creations. And today's topic is going to be love, life, and entertainment. And today we have some wonderful guests, man. I'm so happy to have these guys on. I have Mr. Pat Mitchell, and I have Mr. James Jones. Both are filmmakers, writers, directors. Man, let me tell you something. These guys are busy, and they do a lot. So tune in so you can just see just how much they do. You ready? Let's get it. Guys, first of all, thank you so
Likewise.
much. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. You have no idea. We've been trying to put this thing together for a while, so I'm super excited about this. To have this opportunity to sit and talk to you guys. I had a opportunity to get to know you guys better, and I would say definitely friends for life.
Yes, sir.
So I'm ready. So we're gonna first question I want to get is just so people know who you are. So which one of you guys want to go first? Just telling people what you are and what you do.
Pat Mitchell, writer, director, aspiring filmmaker, photography, graphics, around 19 years, and lighting technician.
I do a bit of writing, filmmaking, editing, some of everything.
Award winner.
Exactly.
Award winner for Freedom of NC, as well as Pay Dirt, just recently came out this year.
Good stuff. Quick question for you guys. How did y'all meet and how did y'all form a partnership?
Oh, man. Well, during the time, man, we was planning. I was planning for the Freedom of NC premiere, October the 9th, 2021. And as I was planning, I knew I needed a photographer at that time. And I knew quite a bit of people here locally. And I remember my young girl that real cool with, and she gave me this individual name, and I said, definitely give him a call because I've seen some of his work for what he did with her, and I reached out to him, and we actually, I was able to hire him to be the photography for the actual premiere, and not thinking that it wasn't going to be nothing more than a transaction. We was able to connect, later on. And we saw that we had the same passion,
Absolutely,
of filmmaking, storytelling, and to be able to create stories of our liking. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how it unfolded.
That's big time. So let me ask you guys something. So where did your passion for, and I'm gonna say creating. So I'm gonna take the filmmaking out and the photography out. We're just gonna say everything creating.
Gotcha.
Where did your passion for creating come from? Where did it start?
art. Being able to express myself and not having people tell me what my passion or what my art should be.
That's big.
So I'm able to really take what I have and kind of bend the bounds of reality and really make people happy.
That's good.
So it's really about making, not just clientele, but to make people, they enjoy what you do, love what you do, and they support you for what you do it for. So I kind of stay in the lane.
Right.
That's good.
A really creative lane of what I love to do.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. I like to say pickleback, man. I'll pickleback off of Pat as well. I'm all about, I feel like we are here to benefit others and not so much of ourselves.
100%.
Right? So in doing that, I feel like I've always been very creative. Father was into poetry, and I love writing. I knew a lot of stories. Growing up, used to watch a lot of Spike Lee.
Okay.
A lot of those types of stories. I can align myself with as well. And I just told myself, man, I want to do that. I want to be able to make stories that would impact the community, impact those that are going through everyday struggle, everyday life.
Wow.
That we don't see as much. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So the creative, that's where that creative juices begin to start coming in and wanting to do that, man.
That's dope. So I know being a creator can be challenging.
Very-
Most definitely.
Yes.
So what types of resources are needed in order to be a creator, and what are some of the difficulties in dealing with them when they're limited?
A support system.
Okay.
It's very important.
Right.
I was talking to James not too long ago, and I almost quit photography. Because the ideas that I had, I didn't know how to bring to life. So meeting James, that helped me become a better writer and be able to tell a story in a bigger picture. Because sometimes it's so much more than a picture
Right. Right.
to
right.
tell a story.
Right.
True.
So that's what kind of helped me kind of grow into my space with meeting James. I'm able to really tell a story and really build and become a writer.
Yeah.
I'm able to show that creativity through that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you say?
I mean, I would have to say, man, just with Pat and what he says, he always, speak very highly, man, and pertaining to what I've done and things of that nature. And I feel like we come in contact with people to be able to pull out what we have and what we don't have. And I feel like with Pat, he already had it.
Right.
He just needed someone to tell him that he needed to pull it out of him.
Yep,
You
tap
understand?
into it.
He just got to tap into it. You know what I mean? So I just feel the challenges with me of creating, not so much of a challenge. I can't say it's a challenge, but I just try to be my own. I
Yes.
try to do what I want to do,
Not
regardless of
following
whatever
trends.
everybody else want
Yeah.
Right.
say that you should be doing. And if you're not familiar with your work, who will?
Yeah, that's true.
So you got to be real with yourself, real with your art, and as long as you do that, everything else is going to pan out, man.
Right. So I guess what one of the things I wanted to definitely dig in, like when I say limited resources is financially being able to support your project.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Not only that, and we, as much as we give people chances, because giving
Right.
people chances to get started is good. Talent,
True.
I'm pretty sure there's definitely some obstacles that come.
Most
Yes.
definitely, man.
Not everybody's gonna carry your
Right.
vision.
That's
Everybody's
right.
not gonna be professional as you need for them to be. How do you
Right.
deal with that?
I would say,
Go ahead.
not to
man.
cut you
No,
off.
you good. Good.
North Carolina is really behind on a lot of stuff.
Right.
You're true.
So it takes a lot for people in North Carolina to support you. A lot of times you get more support outside of North Carolina,
Your
which
community.
is crazy.
Yeah.
But you get more support outside of North Carolina, and when you get big out there, then they'll be like, oh, well, maybe we should support them.
Yeah.
And it's backwards.
Yeah.
And that comes into, financing, because who want to finance something that they don't understand?
I totally understand that. I get it. What do you think, Jay?
I feel the same way, man. I can identify it with the two films, that I was able to produce.
Fantastic film.
And with those films, not having a budget, but believing it so much that it was able to not lose the vision. And sometimes it can be challenging, and sometimes it can be a discouraging moment, because when you have something that's so huge, I like to say, when I try to give my all, I try to give as major as the Mediterranean Sea, right? That's a very big sea.
Yeah, it is.
So my thing is like, it's just really just tapping into who you are and identifying with it, man. And with freedom of NC, pay dirt, I had no. It was a challenge, but it was also a push to show others that all things are possible,
Right.
regardless of your support or what, because yes, there's a lot of people that don't know about what's going on within the behind the scene of the business.
That's true.
That I had to learn.
That's true.
Some people are skeptical of what they want to do with their money,
Right.
and some just don't want to support at all.
That's right.
True. I think to me, that's the hardest thing coming from a small place. And as large as Greenville is, Greenville's still small. It is we are behind times when it comes to certain things, and there are certain things that this community pushes.
True.
Versus other things, and I think to me it's such an injustice it's so much talent in this area that go untapped and unrecognized, that if we just got to give folks a chance,
a shot.
give them a chance. I mean, we don't even. I think that's the hardest thing is.
Yeah.
I've seen people make bad investments all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
But when I see people who like yourself and you guys, and I know how professional and how, and that's, I think, one of the reason we click so much of the professionalism. When you have someone that passionate, why would you not support it? Because they ain't gonna fail.
Right. True.
You're absolutely
regardless.
Right.
Bro, I know how hard you worked.
Right.
Like, there was no reason for anything that you do to fail when you work that hard. If I'm gonna work that hard for myself, I'm gonna work hard for you if you're supporting it financially.
Right.
So that's one of the things that bothers me the most about doing things around here is people support stuff that don't mean nothing.
Right.
Towards something.
Yeah.
Or stuff that has more drama based.
Yeah.
Instead of positivity.
And I hate that. So look, I want to transition just a little bit. So I want to ask this. So how much support do you get from your girlfriend and your wife? How much support do you guys get?
I would say my girlfriend is one of my biggest supporters.
That's great.
Especially going through pay dirt. There was a lot of weekends where she wasn't able to see me.
Yeah.
But she was very, very patient. She didn't get upset. She didn't argue because she knew there was a bigger purpose of what I wanted to do. And it happened just that quick. I was like, this was last year. I'm like, I'm going to be on somebody's film set. Next thing you know, I was on somebody's film set.
That's dope.
Sometimes you have to speak it into existence, and my girlfriend is backing me the whole way.
That's good. That's good. I would have to say, man, my wife as well. She's always been a support of me, man. Anyone that will, very early age, me and Brad was working under the same establishment.
Yep. Long time ago.
But she believed in my vision so much at the very early phase of it. Was willing to take a loan now. Our black women don't.
That's right.
Too much don't do, especially if they don't know you like that, right? But that right there, I was like, wow, because she's not family. I'm getting to know her, but she also see that this young man has something. And I want to pour into him.
Man, that's big, bro.
And that right there, I think that was an eye opener, man. I said, yeah. Got a wife.
That's right.
She'll keep her.
That's right.
Yeah.
Got a wife, this one, man.
Yeah.
So it has to be my wife, man. My wife, brother.
So with that being said, and we all are busy people, and for that to happen, who we're with, we have to find time to make them feel special. What do you do to make her feel remembered and feel special for the support, like supporting her dreams and stuff? What do y'all do?
So, her investing in me as into being there, I invest back and pour back into her. So, she has ventures and stuff that she want to do. She models. So, she has ventures and stuff she want to do. I'm her support system.
That's good.
Because sometimes you have to have, a support system to be a support system.
Yes.
Because
good,
you have to know how to be a support system.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's hard because you don't know how to be somebody's backbone.
That's right.
Yeah.
So she helped me learn how to be someone's backbone. Right.
That's good. Tapping in with the same question, man. Brad, I had to learn it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here in front of 4 or 5 cameras and tell you something that ain't true.
Right.
That's true. So first film, real, when someone is so passionate about something, you can get so caught up into it and kind of forget everything else, right? So there wasn't no balance there. And not knowing, it wasn't intentionally, but it was something that, eventually later on she shared with me.
Right.
And it bothered her.
Oh, that.
Because the attention wasn't there anymore. It was more towards what I was trying to do. I was very adamant of getting this done. So going on with the second project here, I knew that the steps that I move with this has to be a bit different.
Right.
So I'm learning how to balance, learning how to, you know, if I'm doing work, editing here and there, I try to include her.
Right. Making things intentional.
You know, check this out. How this look right here. How this little
Include
clip.
her into it.
Including
Yeah.
as
Because
much as
sometimes that's
possible.
what they want
Yeah.
to be included.
And even taking time off my work, although I know I got a deadline, taking time and say, you know what, this is a wait.
Yep. It's
I come
important.
back to it at, you know, let's spend this weekend, and I'm still working at it. You know what I mean? But
Same.
I think that's where I'm working on of being better with that, of balancing not only my wife but the kids as well. Because when you got a passionate dream, man, it's contagious. It's like a drug.
It is.
bro,
It is.
when you want something that bad, bro.
And I guess that's why I was wondering, because I know for myself, you know, poetry is my thing. You know, me doing the stuff that I do, I know that when you don't want to have that mindset. When you meet me, you know, take it or leave it. This is what you come with.
Right.
Yeah.
But you definitely want to be with someone who understands.
That's it. That's it.
You want someone, like you said, you want someone to pour into you so you can pour back into them.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I found that a lot of females love things that are intentional.
Right.
Meaning stopping what I'm doing because it's important and spending that time, that intentional time. Now, I know that that's something that I know that they adore.
That's it.
So transitioning from that,
Okay.
and so let me ask you guys something, and this is something that actually means something to me. What do you think the recipe is for a healthy relationship?
Communication. Very big on communication, man. Communicating as much as possible, regardless if it's a uncomfortable topic. You know, 18 years, well, 17 years marriage, man. It's a balance, man. And I had to learn to know that it's what you put in.
That's true. That's
So it's
true.
what you're gonna, you know, and both significant others have to put in.
That's true.
Right? It's not you put in 70, I'm putting in 40.
Right.
Everyone, you know, everyone have to put in their even numbers, man. So I want to say communication, communicating, keeping that fire lit.
Right. That's
Continue to
important, too.
doing the things that you was doing before kids came along.
Yep.
Before all this other stuff, because sometimes we can get busy.
Yep.
I'm you know, I can identify, like, I get busy and like I said, not intentionally, but I've, you know, looked over her at times, and I can be a man to admit that.
That's big right now by itself. What you bet?
And I would say communication and understanding. Really understanding your partner,
Yeah.
and for them to understand that this is something that you really want to do. Because one thing she's always said is, because sometimes I have to go to her and be like, "Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you all right? I support you." That's what she give me.
Yeah.
I support you. And also understanding that men and women communicate totally differently.
Oof.
Yeah.
And that's a really big thing.
Yeah, it is,
Once
bro.
you understand that, I think the relationship will be a lot better, because you know if you say something, it don't mean it that way. It's just how men communicate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think also too important thing, you gotta be willing to fight.
Absolutely.
And when I tell people
That's
like
it.
I don't want you to fight against me. I want you to fight with me.
That's
Right.
it.
Not only that, I have a slogan that I say all the time, man. When people come into my life, I want you to add more than you subtract.
Absolutely.
I think it's important that when we meet people, and this is the funniest thing, when you meet people, everybody's not supposed to be together. And
I agree.
once you learn that, you kind of navigate through life a little bit better.
True.
But there is sometimes when you meet someone, it's just very difficult to let them go,
Yes.
because they bring something out of you that no one else can do. So,
Yeah.
I always like to find out what other people, how they navigate through their relationships and stuff and things. Because one of the things I transition from that is, and we was talking off camera about love. And just to share my little quick story, I didn't hear love in my household growing up, and that was tough for me. Always been my grandmother used to tell me all the time, like, you know, boy, you the huggingest person I ever seen in my life, you know.
Yeah.
So I love hard. I love on people. I love them hard. So to never hear love in your household could be tough.
Yes.
My dad didn't say it. My mom didn't say it. So it wasn't, you know, for me as a grown up, I was like, I'm not allowing my family to go and not know or hear it. Yeah. So I didn't want that behavior to carry over.
Yeah,
so what I did was I actually tell my boys, my boys grown, we tell each other we love each other all the time.
Yes.
And you know what, real quick before I let y'all go, one of the things that I find myself doing now, and we do it, and I've done it with you too.
Yeah.
When we see, like, if I see one of my homeboys, yo, love you, bro.
Same
Yeah.
here.
Love you, bro. Because you know, I think as black men, we don't tell each other enough.
Yeah.
We don't show it
Yeah.
and mean it.
Sure.
You know, so even if you're saying it because it's a part of your slogan, whatever, but saying it, just mean it.
Yeah.
It adds something. It seems like it adds something.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what do y'all feel about that whole love thing?
Love is a very, very strong emotion that a lot of black men don't know how to deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
We really don't know how to deal with emotion, period. So, you know, fighting that struggle of should I be vulnerable?
Right.
Or if I'm vulnerable, will it be used against me?
Right.
Will I be called weak? Will I be called sassy? Will I be called all of these things? But in spite all of that, be open. Find someone trustworthy that you can be open to. Because one thing about James, I can say, he'll make you talk to him.
Right.
He'll make you talk to
That's
him.
good stuff.
And I had a hard time saying I love you to people because of how I was raised.
Right.
I knew I was loved, but sometimes hearing it makes things so much better.
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
It does.
I agree with that. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, man. I just feel like love itself is unconditional, man. It's beyond of a letter, right? You know, and it's what comes with that, right? And you know, I shared with you earlier behind the cameras or whatnot. I didn't hear it from my mother, and growing up, it became a norm. So, I didn't know. But the thing is, my dad said it. So, growing up in the household with the father and my mother there, mother never really she was never affectionate. So I will always come to her bedside just before I go to bed and try to kiss both of them. My dad will be receiving, whereas my mother, it will be from a joking manner, but boy, get them juicy lips away from me.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And the thing, I can't say it bothered me because, like I said, it was a norm, right? But as I grew older, I said, man, Mama never, I can count how many times Mama told me she loved me, right? But with all that being said, my mom had another way of expressing the way she loves me, right? I would rather have someone to express the way they love me. You can have your enemy to tell you I love you,
Right. Yep.
but have no attachments to that love and be
totally
the one that will bite your hand off.
Totally agree.
So, with my mom not knowing how to verbally say that word, I don't blame her because the way she came up and the way she was raised with a very strict father who was my grandfather,
Right.
who never was affectionate to them. So she didn't hear it in her childhood.
That's big time.
So now she having her offsprings, it becomes a cycle now.
Right.
So what I wanted to do with my kids was interrupt that cycle and say, you know what, I'm gonna express the love. Let them know that I love them.
That's good stuff.
Build that bond with my kids, man. I'm big fans of Sean Williams and Marlon and all that. And people used to talk about how they used to kiss in the mouth and all that stuff like that. But if you would never get it if you don't understand. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
They always done that.
And they tight.
And they tight, bro. Because the way they was raised. So Yeah, I would say that, man. Yeah.
So let me ask you something. So do you think relationships are tough? To me, I can honestly say that I think they're tougher now. Do you think navigating through a relationship is tougher now than it was 10 to 15 years ago?
Yes, and a lot of it is to do with social media.
Booyah, because that's what my whole thing. So my question is this right here, and that's where I wanted to go next. So
Hit it, right? That's
social,
it.
social media, and I've said this 1,000 times.
Get some on this.
It is very difficult to navigate a successful, helpful relationship when social media is guiding you.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you and your girlfriend?
Yes.
How do y'all navigate? I don't know if social media is in y'all relationship or not, but how do y'all navigate through that?
Well, we had a conversation before we even got together. We said no matter what we may go through, if we have a disagreement, argument, or whatever, let's not take it to social media.
Booyah.
Because you've given so many people a chance to be in your relationship.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
And the more miles or whatever you have in your relationship, the quicker it is to break y'all up.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
somebody's going to start listening.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
What do you think, Jeff?
Same way, man. Social media, man, itself, like you said, that was going to be my answer too. It's a force to be reckoned with because there's a lot of great things that you can do up there, but there's also things that I don't truly believe the guy who created meant for, right? So we have a lot of problems of not really handling our business at home. We want the whole world to know.
Yep.
So we vent out. And that goes back to the way that individual was raised.
Yep.
If that individual don't know how to really communicate, how to deal with certain situations, whatever they feel comfortable with, that's what they're going to take liking to. So I've seen it so much. And it's like tiring, man, just to be able to see that. Because a lot of that coming up, back in the day when it wasn't social media, I do remember you didn't hear about those types of things.
No.
Nah, that was the last thing you had to worry about.
Right.
And it's crazy though because my ex and I, and we keeping it 100 on this thing. So my ex, we had went through, and this was some years ago. We used to post each other on Facebook, on social media. Then she stopped.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, sorry, I was in my feelings. I'm like, why in the world you stop posting me on social media? Going in. And she said something to me, and I think that navigated how I looked at everything in my life going forward.
Okay.
She was like, you don't have to put everything or post everything that we do in front of everybody.
Yes.
But I'm going to tell you, when you look deeper, because I thought about it years later, I went deeper and thought about it. So why would I portray happiness when happiness is not our reality?
Right.
That's it.
So once I realized
that's good.
what she didn't come out and tell me exactly, but she told me enough for me to go do my own homework. So I'm looking for gratification through something that's not real.
Yes.
That's it.
So I'm more worried about what it looks like up here than cleaning it up, fixing it over here.
And where a lot of them does.
And that changed my whole mentality about social media. Like I went and some other things that happened too that I had to clean up and change within myself. But that stuck with me for the longest time. It's like people put a lifestyle in front of people that they're not living.
That's not reality.
Man,
it's not real.
And I'm like this right here. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. And I've seen more relationships last longer when you don't know what they got going on than you do if they post every single thing they got going on.
You'll see us. Me and my girlfriend will pop out. You don't see us post much on social
Same
media.
here.
We don't.
Yeah.
When we pop out, we'll post pictures and stuff like that. But a lot of times we're really low key.
Yeah.
I like that.
You got to be that way, man. Because it's people that's up there for a mission, they feeding off of that, right?
Want to break y'all up, want y'all to be miserable because they miserable.
Yeah. Right. And you got those that's willing to put this out there looking for validation.
Yep. Yes.
They looking, I don't, whatever it may be. It can be something as simple as, well, my man ain't telling me I'm beautiful. Let me put put my outfit on. Let me
Man.
do a little pose. Let me do a twerk a little
I ain't
bit.
studying that.
And
No,
that's that. But they looking for validation.
For validation.
I ain't
That's
studying
the
that.
power
Yeah.
of media,
Yeah.
of social media, and what it has turned to, man.
Yeah.
You know?
So let me ask you this, segue into this right here, because this is a good segue to this. So do you think that, and I will say this, I have noticed over the years that women are taking more of a dominant role.
Okay.
What I ain't gonna do in a relationship, I ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna be this, but this is what they expect for you to be.
Right.
Do you think that the value of relationships has gone down? Like they don't even carry the same value or worth. And I'm not gonna say, when I say I know there are some great still relationships.
Right.
So I'm not gonna say there's still not none, but I'm saying when you look,
Most of what we see.
what you see.
I would say value have went down, and it goes into social media because the next person is just a text message away or a DM away. So that's why, one thing I had to go back to my girlfriend. We had to have a conversation. I had to let her know I can't make you happy. You can't make me. I can enhance it.
That's big.
Right.
You can enhance mine,
Right.
but that happiness has to come
Gotta be on the inside, man.
That's big.
because if you're unhappy, you're gonna be unhappy.
Lord,
Yeah.
yes.
I can get up there and do a jig, all that. If you're unhappy, you're gonna be unhappy.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
So that's one thing I had to learn, and that helped me kind of navigate that. Sometimes you're gonna be unhappy, and it's okay.
True.
But that don't mean I'm gonna run from you,
Right.
Right.
and I don't want you to run from me.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk it out, have a conversation, and let that be.
Right. Right. But main thing you said, go back to what you said earlier, communication.
Communication, talking it
That's
out,
big. What do you think, Dwayne, on
and
that?
understanding.
And understanding. Yeah. Well, you know what? Even when you have arguments, one thing I learned too, that I have heard, not listening to respond, but listening to understand.
To understand.
Right.
And that's big too, because a lot of times, you ain't heard nothing the person said, because you wait to rebuttal.
Right.
Like you just ready, if you more want to debate than you do compromise.
Yeah, and understanding disagreement.
Yeah, and
Wow.
that can tell a lot of stuff too.
True.
So how do you navigate through that? When them conflicts come and like how do we get through this? What kind of things do you use? What kind of tactics or whatever?
Man, for one, I don't go on social to because I know that's not where the true answers rely. And I have to say, because I see it enough. We, not just females but males too, we look for validation up there, and I just feel, man, within who we are, we got to identify with self and what we bring to the table, the value that we do have. And I feel like a lot, going to your question, the relationship itself, the value have dropped a bit because we don't know our self-worth. We don't know who we are within our true identity. So we look for things that's outside of ourselves to attach to self.
Right. Yes.
And that's basically it.
Right.
We don't understand each other.
No.
But are we willing to try?
That's
the
the question.
It's like I said, it's easy for people now because sometimes if it ain't going your way, you just quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's easy.
Just quit. Yeah.
It's easy.
It's easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's it used to be a thing when you break up with somebody. There was a process you go through.
Yeah.
You
I've been hurt before.
man, jonesing, snotting, all that stuff, crying,
Reading old
Oh
letters.
man, but now it's like, as soon as you break up, now it's like, well, old boy been waiting on a date anyway, so I'm gonna go call him.
Yeah.
Like what? So I really think that's a lot of going on, and it's not. And trust me, people out here in TV land, we're not bashing females. It's not what men do right, female. It's not
At
that.
all.
It's
Not
just
at all.
the overall concept is
Right.
you need to know what men feel and think about
Most definitely.
these topics and stuff. So, let's get off the women for a second, or get off relationships for a second. I'm gonna ask you guys about what's happening in our community with the black voice of a male. Like, it seems like it's getting weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about going back to James Evans type voice. I'm talking about just going when like we spoke off camera earlier. In the neighborhood, you was taught a lesson every time you left the house.
Correct.
Now I walk by young people and I don't say 2 words, more so because I'm scared of them. You know,
Yeah.
you don't know what these rappers got going on.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and it's bad because you want to tell them, you want to help them,
Right.
but it's like you turn your head and look the other way. So
Right.
what happened to that voice?
I would say, do we feel heard?
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really important that we do have a voice, but with how we raised, we may not know how to express that voice.
Right.
That's it.
And
That's good.
That's very, very important because a lot of people that are black men, we don't know how to express.
That's true.
True.
You express through anger.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, happiness, but a lot of times we don't know how to really express ourselves in a positive manner.
Yeah.
Or if we express ourselves, it's taken as aggressive.
True. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And I think, well, I guess with what you said, Brad, I mean, taking everything that Pat just said, that's a lot of these young boys, young girls as well, and what they experience, because they never knew how to maneuver those things. It was head on, They can't control the environment that they live in,
Yeah.
the community, and what they saw when they stepped out of their home. So I feel like it's one thing of having a voice, voicing out what you believe, but with anything, man, and this is me personally, I believe action.
Yeah.
Same thing that my mom did. She didn't say it. She didn't verbally say I love you, but she showed it.
Right.
So that is what I feel that our young kids need.
Love.
more than anything. Yeah.
Some of the young OGs, when I used to come up, they would call it hard love. That tough love,
Tough
right?
love, yep.
I was out there trying to be on the corner, as my cousins was doing it. My uncle, I see my uncles doing it, glorifying it, and I wanted to do that.
Right.
And OG pulled me to the side and, really jacked me up. Let me see if you out here. He doing it.
Right. Right.
He out there doing it.
Right.
But he caught me out there. Let me see you doing this. I'm gonna tell you up.
Yeah.
That is what we were missing.
Yeah.
He saw something in you too.
Right.
Yeah.
That community discipline.
Yeah. That
Right.
this-
Right.
And that's done. But now you can't even say nothing to
No.
somebody.
No, you can't.
You gotta fight the parents with
No,
them.
That's right.
They
Right.
can't take the child.
They can't even. Yeah.
But they don't even want
They
you to
out
say
of
nothing.
hand. Right.
Yeah. So I want to stop real quick, and I want to just tell the audience, if you don't mind, can you like and subscribe to Unique Creations, 3Sides 2Every Story podcast? We need every last one of them. Like and subscribe. Push that like button, man. We need everything. There's a lot of content to be coming your way. All right, let's get back to it. So, with that being said, with the voice, and I do totally agree. How important is that voice at home? See, because and the reason I say that is, I'll tell this little nugget, and you can go from there. But me and my son had a falling out for a year, and the incident that happened, when it happened, of course, it was shocking to the system. Like, oh wow, we really just went through this.
Right.
And I remember people asking, it was like, well, man, how long you think he gonna feel this way? I said, it's gonna last a while. And they was like, no, ain't no way. Why you say that? Because I know him. It's gonna last a while.
Wow.
And I hated that it went almost a little over a calendar year, but we was able to come back together. We didn't talk for an entire year, over a year. Now you talking about the same father who tell the kids you love them, do stuff, and I would still try to do little things behind the scene for him, where even though we was in this place, but because like I tell people, I don't care how mad I am, it's still my child, and I still love my child,
Right.
and I want the best for him. But how hard is it with when it's in the confines of your household and family? Do you feel like that voice still isn't being heard? How hard is that?
I think that caters to you because you have a big, beautiful family.
Yeah.
So I think that caters a lot to you.
It sometimes it can bother you, when you feel like you're not being heard in your own household at times, man. And then sometimes I have to step back and evaluate myself. What am I doing? What am I not doing? and just try to identify with the situation, man. There's been quite a bit of times, man, and it seems like some, those times when if my voice wasn't loud enough at home, it was loud outside of where there was people that didn't know me, and I was able to either inspire them some way or another, just giving them something that they can take and attach to them. And I don't know, man. It's like almost, I forgot the young man's name. He asked, with all the great leaders that have walked this earth, if you talking about if it's MLK and if it's Malcolm X, Nobuju Ali, if it's Garvey, you got to understand, we seen them from the forefront in front of, if it was media, in front of thousands of people, when they made speeches and what they said within their community and what they believed in, that touched a lot of lives and impact lives now today. But those same individuals, they will still have those questions even going back home.
That's true.
Where my voice is not loud enough, or at times. So I think, man, I just try to identify with it, and a lot of times when it does, or when I do feel that way, I try to evaluate. Is it something I'm not seeing, or if it's something that and that's my whole thought on it.
Well, another reason I'll touch on, just piggyback off that, because do you have kids, man?
I have godkids.
Okay,
14 godkids.
Okay,
yeah.
and the reason you got kids then. So look, the reason I say that, because now you gonna recognize this real quick. So when you growing up, and you gonna recognize too, when your dad told you something.
Oh yeah.
And then you go,
Then you go over here in the corner.
Oh, man.
Mr. Andrews said.
Yeah.
And you do exactly everything he just said, and then your daddy just told you the same thing.
Same exact thing.
And you come home, he want to fight you, because look, I just told you this.
I just told him. That right there, boy, man.
Yeah. So that's why I was saying about the voices being heard, because we want the best for our family and for our kids, and sometimes I don't think they realize that there's a level of structure that goes along with that. I think, and like fundamentally, I knew things that I had to do with my father and my how my mother and father relationship was with me. That there's the structure, the things that I had to learn, things I had to go through, things I had to do with them.
Right.
But these kids now seem to be different. They're breaking the norms. They're not like normal stuff. So, and it hurts worse, because they're doing things different from what we went through, raised. I was wondering, like, how did that make you feel when you go through those different levels of transition with these new kids?
I think it's very important, if you have a partner, having a partner that will allow your voice to be heard.
That's big.
Because there's some situations where that other party won't even allow you to say anything, or they get upset. So I think that's what's a good important thing, is to have someone that will allow you to express.
On the same page.
And go back to understanding that men and women parent differently.
Right.
I agree.
You may talk soft to them.
Yeah.
We may be a little bit more stern.
Yeah.
So
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
And some
But
people,
be a team.
Right.
Yeah.
And some people receive it. It could be, I guess, what you had said too as well. Same thing what you saying, Pat. It's just, the pastor can say one thing, right? About time to get filtered down to the people that's listening to him. They can repeat the same thing, but it may not resonate, or it may not, to the point where whoever they are speaking to may not understand it, meaning that the format itself, because I've said a lot of things that has impact people, or man, you inspired me to do this or to do that they couldn't identify with their own pastor.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when we speaking about these young kids, I feel like, for one, they need something that to identify with.
Right.
right? And if you're speaking that language, meaning if I used to do this, and I can tell you going down this road and this route where that's going to lead you,
Right.
and then at the same time with the same breath can share with you how I made $100,000 making clean money without having you turning. You know, some of these guys need that type
Yeah.
of.
And that's to do with transparency too.
That is.
Yeah,
That
you
is.
know. So a lot of times it's the way that you formatted it. You know, you know, whoever, you know, the individual that you're trying to reach, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, and I've sometimes I know how to tap into it. It's like almost like your family knows you, right? They call me Junior, so when I'm around them, you Junior.
Right.
You ain't James.
Nah.
You ain't no director. You ain't no filmmaker.
No, sir.
You ain't none of that. You that bad little young nigga, Junior, bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's who you are.
Right.
And even when you try to spit that life to them, man, my uncles don't want to hear it.
Nah.
You know, they don't take your words as strong. You know, you know, because they don't identify that. They identify with you, who you know, the original you. You know, so it can kind of be kind of. You know, yeah,
Kind of holding you back. It don't give you room to grow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is very important now, man, because I would say that, you know, for me, experiencing, I've been through some major transitions. You know, I was telling the Mr. Smith, you know, we was joking about who we were and who, you know, we had a conversation one time, and I know good and well I was an ignorant ass dude. I'll be honest with you, and man, and it was not because I was a bad person. I just didn't know no better. You know, just did dumb stuff. You know,
Right.
I didn't go out and I ain't robbed nobody. I didn't do nothing.
Right,
But
right.
just, you know, it's just my way of thinking was just crazy. You know,
Yeah.
and I thank God for growth. Like and that's why a lot of times when people see new versions of you, they fall in love with that. And they're like, oh man, I wish I could have met you way back then. No, no,
You don't.
You're getting the best version of me.
That's
now.
right.
it.
Like
That's
you didn't
right.
even want to meet that guy. We wouldn't even we wouldn't even be friends right now.
Right.
So
That's true.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's important to allow people to grow too.
True.
It's just sometimes while they're on their journey of growth, you don't have to be with them.
Yeah.
I had to learn
That's
that not everybody I need to be walking with them while they're doing what they need to do, because I didn't have them people with me when I was doing what I was doing.
That's good.
So
That's good.
it's important that when you recognize that someone's having their time of growth, allow them to grow.
Yeah.
You know,
That's good.
Give them room to grow.
That's good.
if they're meant to be, if y'all meant to be in each other's path, you'll be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything happened for a reason.
True.
So let me ask you something. If you can give some advice to a younger version of you, what would it be?
Ooh. Don't allow people to tell you you can't be who you want to be. That's very important. Is to be yourself, have fun with what you do, with what you do,
Yeah.
and don't let somebody sway you away from what you want to do.
That's big, Pat.
So that's very important.
That's
Yeah.
big. That's big.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah. What were you, Jay?
You are much more.
Good grief. That's big.
I try to sum it up. That's the only thing I can think of, because that sums everything up, right? Because coming from the family that I came from, the statistics, real fast. My dad was born in D.C., Washington District. Mother on crack cocaine. Grandmother had taken him in junior high. So, you know where that could have led.
Oh yeah. No doubt.
You know, not having a father who claimed him. My mother's side of the family, mother had both of the parents. Grandfather in the streets, though. So, you know, the family was, you know, one of those difficult types of, a lot of stuff going on in the family, man. So, me coming around from their offsprings, I don't believe I was meant to make it. Or be here from what they say.
Right.
But there's a much higher power.
Oh, indeed that, bro. Indeed that.
That has already spoken life before I took my first breath. So, you are much more. That's it.
That's big, man.
And one more thing, not to cut you off, but I would tell my younger self, I love you. Go ahead.
That's big, man. I think for me, I used to tell people a lot. My biggest downfall and my biggest regret was being a fatal failure.
Yeah.
I think if I could go back and tell myself, now, hey, jump off the ledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I promise, if you just spread your wings, you're gonna fly.
Yeah.
So
And if you fall, that impact ain't gonna kill you.
It's not.
man,
That impact ain't gonna kill you.
Yeah.
man, just get up.
Yeah.
Just get up.
Yeah.
Do it again. Try it again.
Right.
So I think a lot of times, I think that's what held me back from a lot of things. I tell people, like, there's a lot of stuff I know how to do now.
Right.
I was like, I wish I knew how to do it when I wish I had tapped into those things when I had the energy.
Right.
You know, I'm forcing myself to do it now because I'm old. But man,
and sometimes it's even at that phase of your life, maybe it wasn't meant for you to
there you go.
to know those things
There you go.
at that time,
There you
because
go.
now you're able to speak about it.
Yeah.
The growth that happened in between to get you where you are now.
Yeah.
So time just has to catch up to what God has already spoken into your life.
Man, that's dope. That's dope. And I told Mr. Smith that because we had talked once, and he said that he always felt like I had, I was destined for big things and all this. And I told him, I was like, one of the things I felt is piggybacking off what you said is, even though you saw that in me, and I appreciate you pouring into me for that.
Yeah.
That version of me wasn't ready for it.
Wasn't ready.
So, I would have got it and squandered it. I would have messed it all up.
Yeah.
I think, and I would say this, God has truly have blessed me
That's beautiful.
in these last few years. And I'm telling you, I actually had this thing, man, I used to say all the time, I was like, well, I wish I was rich. I wish I was rich.
Yeah.
And I wish I had this and this and this. And then one day, this is no lie, I was sitting in the house, and I was like, man, I don't know what I want to eat. I can eat anything I want. Go get a steak. I want to go, whatever I want to eat, I can go eat. Then I was like, hey, where I want to go? I was like, I can go spend money. I ain't even got to worry about the money I spend.
Right.
Or I can go do this. And I was like, dude, you rich.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't got to be defined by
That's
rich
right.
by having $1 million.
That's right.
That's beautiful.
But if you comfortable
Right.
and you can do what you want,
Right.
comfortable,
Right.
get out, go outside, drive anything
Do
you
what
want,
you want to do.
go where you want to go.
Yeah.
Bro, you blessed.
Right.
That's right.
So I was like, I stopped saying that.
True.
I stopped saying it because it made me feel like when I said I wasn't grateful
Okay.
for them things.
Gotcha.
So I had to change my mindset when it came to stuff like that. I wanted to always stay humble and always stay grateful
Right.
because those things can't be taken away.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But be grateful you're in a position that you can have those things.
Right.
Yeah.
And be able to be comfortable with them.
And the thing is, you're still becoming.
Yeah. Yeah.
You wasn't what you was yesterday.
Yeah, man. Sure.
I think that's the beautiful thing about it. If you can align with yourself with it, I've always believed in, the universe just allowing us to be where we are right now, and to adapt. This here. This conversation.
Oh yeah.
And it's so much beyond of just being a podcast or not knowing who's going to watch that and will impact their lives to be more open, to be more emotional about their, So, it's, you just got to adapt with, you got to tap into that, man, and that's how I look at it, man.
Yeah.
And it's one thing for people to support you. It's powerful when you support yourself.
Oh,
Yeah.
Man, give me some on that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Got to.
Yeah.
When you have that faith in yourself,
Yeah.
that you're gonna be what you want to be.
And
That's
being-
powerful.
Yeah.
And being comfortable with yourself.
That's right.
I had to, I'm telling you, man, once I got to a place where I was okay being alone, like, I'm not saying you should be alone, because
No, I get it.
No, I get exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
companionship is the dopest.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're comfortable, when you find, when you're finally in a place of peace, to find comfort within yourself, you winning.
It's a beautiful place.
You are
man.
winning.
It's a beautiful place.
And I've gotten to that place, and that's why I said, how are you gonna be good for anybody else if you ain't good for yourself?
Yeah.
And I just want to go back to something we talked about earlier, so I can give you my view on that. We talked about the relationships and all that good stuff.
Yes.
My philosophy is a little different. People used to say, take half and half, 50-50, in the relationship. I don't believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in we bring 100%. And the reason I say that is I know for a fact that we're not gonna always have 100%.
Yes.
But because one day I might have 10, she may have 7.
Yeah.
But I feel like
real.
this: if I wake up in the morning and I'm striving for 100,
Yeah.
and I fall off today, then I'm doing everything in my power to make up for it the next day.
Right.
Because I think that is what's actually missing with people. So even when I hear it, so you gonna bring me half or something? It's like I'm already behind the shotgun because you already gonna bring me. So you telling me I'm only worth half?
Right.
No,
I feel you.
no. I want to strive for that 100.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I just wanted to go back and hear that. What do you think about that?
Oh man. Always, you always want to, and not just at 100. The 100 is the highest you can go, but just reach beyond.
Oh yeah.
Beyond, because never limit yourself. And the old saying we used to hear, the sky's the limit.
Yep.
That's like the biggest, I think it's
Misquote. Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sky's the limit. Because we got to understand, beyond the sky,
Yep.
there's many galaxies.
Yep.
And there's many other universes
keep on
that's
going.
out there.
We can keep
So
on
you
going.
can continue to keep on going. When
Yep.
you say sky is the limit, it is limiting you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, always give it your best, man. Yep.
Stop tailoring the expectations
That's right.
to what you can see, and that's why I say, we even with relationships. That's why I think relationships fail now. People have, we set
Unexpected,
bars.
yeah.
You set in places like, okay, as long as I get this, I'm good.
Yeah. They not
That's all
giving
you
out.
want from me?
Yeah, they not giving
Like, that's
out.
all you want from me.
And
is that-
providing isn't just financial.
No, man, no. So how do what's before
That's
we wrap it up? Let me just get
No, that's good.
So, what do you feel is and because you guys are actually past that stage, but I'm actually what
Okay.
you feel. So, when you hear women say that men need to have this X, Y, Z, and you need to provide this, and do you think that women are you more attracted to a person saying that, hey, if I got you today, or tomorrow I've got you this, or you feel that a man should take care of everything?
I've been married before,
Right.
and I took care of everything. Times are different now.
Yeah.
The costs of things are different now.
Indeed.
Now, I'm not saying that, I want you to bring half. I'm not saying that. Provide something.
Something.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, me and my girl had this conversation today, actually. And I love my girl, man.
Yeah.
I love my girl
I
because
get it.
she understands.
Yeah.
That's all you want.
And she don't want to be a liability to me. No matter what she
Say
put
that
in,
again for me.
she
Say that
do
again.
not want to be a liability to me.
Reef, I do. Well, I like
That's
that.
right.
drink
She don't want to be a
Yeah.
liability. Because it's so easy to be a liability to
Yes.
someone, and then when you don't live up to that expectation, what
Right.
happens? You leave.
That's it.
You can't do what I want no more. So hey, I'm out.
Man, that's big, bro.
Yeah.
Being a liability, not an asset. Well, being an asset and not becoming that liability
Yes.
is big. Jay, what do you feel about that? What do you think? Cause that's huge.
Man, as all men who's in a relationship, married, has a girlfriend, we strive
Yes.
to be the best that we can be, right? And we all go through life and life experience. Men go through what men go through, women go through what women go through. Do I believe that the man's supposed to take care of everything? And when you look at it, back in the day when you see during the 60s and a lot of the times the statistics in the 60s, the man was always there in the household taking care of everything. The wife didn't have to do so much. The man was the man that brought in butter. And it's somewhat, I do believe in that.
Yeah.
But then at times it goes back from what you just said. We both need to bring in.
Yeah.
100%.
Because if I fall, what's gonna happen?
Right.
Yeah.
We both gonna
We
be on the
both.
street looking at each other like this.
Man, look, I got something even better than that. See, back in the day when that was how things were done traditionally,
Right.
women, when you got home, there was a meal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
clothes was washed,
Yeah.
Kids were
house
taken
was
care
clean,
of.
Yeah.
kids take care. You got women now that
They
want that
won't
same
even-
thing, and it's nothing done. When you get
No.
home, they're sitting there chilling.
Right, right.
House is dirty.
Right.
This is, you know,
Right,
so
right.
it's different. It's like you said again. I think the mentality, because it's different if I come home to what feels like a home
True.
than me just coming home to a place.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to act like
Yeah.
a wife to be a wife.
Man,
You have to
so
act like a husband to be a husband.
there you
Yeah.
go. That's why I'm never one to like to tell people like, man, don't get married. That ain't. I would never do that, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think everybody deserves their opportunity to win,
Yeah.
and marriage is the win. That's the ultimate win. So I think everybody deserves that, and I think, you know, we have to stop portraying that taking care of each other is a bad thing.
It's not.
You know, people, they make it taking care of each other. I'm gonna tell you, I get so tickled when I see old couples together.
Yeah.
I'm like, Lord have mercy, boy. That's what you want right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now they ain't doing that. We know they ain't getting down. They ain't doing that. But you know, but at the end of the day, that rascal just having she
He's
gonna scratch
happy.
that back.
Yes, sir.
Boy,
And he
I'm
ain't
telling
going
you,
nowhere
boy,
neither.
Boy, he said he hips up down. Was he? But that's what I'm saying. That's what actually, when I look at that, I get excited about stuff like that.
True.
You know, and you know, that's why I say, man, when people come into your life, and you know, for me, I'm single, so when someone comes into my life, I want them to know that we can have everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got to want the same things at the same time.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can't push and you pull, and I'm pulling
That's
you
it.
pushing. We
That's
have
it.
to want the same.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, guys, listen, I want to tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. First of all, let me just say this:
Oh,
how
man.
excited I am to have you guys here.
Oh, we're
man.
excited to
We
be here.
honor, man.
We covered a lot,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna tell you, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap it up. But I do want to ask you one last question before we wrap up. What do you have coming up? What's the newest stuff that you got going on that you want to let everybody know about?
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, I want, let them out, and then also too, after you let them know how they can find you. Let them know how they can contact you, what you do, all your services. Let them know. Tell them.
Okay. So I have my first short film coming up called Bipolar.
Congratulations.
So we will be filming it. It's coming up weekend.
Last weekend, bro.
It's coming up weekend. Partnered up with Bear Hug. You know, my brother's gonna come in and help me. So super excited about that project.
Oh, yeah.
You can catch me on TikTok, Bay Metro Official, Instagram, Bay_Metro01, and Facebook, Pat Mitchell.
That's dope.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hold, Pat. Tell them what else you do. You do photography. Tell them what you
Yeah,
got going on, man. Look, bro, let them know.
I do photography. I do anything you need to do, from creative, compositions, background changes. If you want to be wherever, I can take you wherever you need to go. From weddings, babies,
The boy do it all.
I do everything.
Yeah, they
I
need to
do
know that,
everything.
bro. They
They
need to
do
know
it all.
that. And he is available to book, so you need to
I
book
am.
him.
Yeah. Yeah.
360 booth too.
Yeah. we need to book him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him promoted. We need to book him.
Yeah.
Great guy,
Thank
hard
you.
working. He does what he
Yeah.
do. Say what you got.
Well, he failed to realize he's one of the best to ever do it.
Humble too.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
very humble.
Oh my goodness.
But one of the best to ever do it in this area that I've seen, who can take a picture and manipulate it the way he does. So, you know, that shows creativity, his art, the way he visioned things as well. And I knew the passion was there.
Yep.
It wasn't just him snapping a photo. I've taken on liking him before he even knew me. Like I said in before, it's a young girl who he took pictures, and I seen the photos. I was like, whoa, blown away. So
Thank
if
you.
you're looking for a photographer, he's your guy. I don't surround myself with anyone that's it got to be either same as here or even better than me. You know.
There you go. There you go.
But
He just let me in. I appreciate it.
Oh,
He
man.
let me in. Yeah.
But you know, pretty much have the Bear Hugs Productions. As Pat said, I would be helping him. I'm very, 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 very excited of helping him with his first film. I'm honored that he's able to just step out there, believing in himself, pulling out of himself what he already had, right? And I just want to be a brother to push him. And, you know, whatever, if he feel like he's falling, know that I got him. You know what I'm saying? So
I believe that.
that's where we're here to benefit one another, to build each other up. And so I'm excited about Bipolar that you got that's coming soon. It's gonna be hitting festivals. I'm gonna push them to put it in festivals. And other things, I'm looking to doing more getting into short films. I've done already 2 features, so I know what that looks like. And I'm looking into doing some short films and getting into TV pilot series, such as Tricky Sam.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
you ready to say?
Yes, sir. I'm waiting on that one.
Yeah,
I knew you'd be Tricky
yeah,
Sam.
Jake.
Yes,
You
sir.
already heard him. And looking to take on that story there. Another short I was thinking of doing the Sarah Keys Evans. She's a great figure here. She passed earlier. I want to say last year at the age of 99. We've heard about the Rosa Parks. We heard about the Claudette, the young 15-year-old who didn't move to the back of the bus because she was pregnant. But this young lady, Sarah Keys Evans, in Washington, North Carolina, real quick story. She was the very first one documented who didn't remove herself to the back of the bus because someone wanted her seat. Right. And she fought. Her and her father fought for that. They took it to the Supreme Court in New York, and that's when the law began to change. Soon after, you had the Claudette, and then a little after that, I want to say 1957, you had Rosa Parks. And that's a lot of people know about the Rosa Parks, but what gravitated me to that story was we didn't hear about the untold story of Sarah Keys Evans, and I wanted to be able to highlight her in a great way. So that I got that coming as well, man. So any stories, man, to benefit others, to empower, enlighten, and also entertain all people. Not just one diversity of people, but I want to be able to empower all people. That's why I'm here.
Man, that's dope. I need to ask you guys one other question. So after seeing this, there's gonna be a lot of people gonna be asking questions like, how can I, get my movie debut, or how can I get an opportunity to be in one of your films, or and all that stuff. So how can people reach you?
Okay.
And what do people need to do if they want an opportunity to work with you?
Well, we partners now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of times we put a lot of our casting calls on social media.
Yeah.
We also use Backstage
Yes.
Casting. That's a very huge platform where we can actually see other talents that's outside of our local, that's here as well. But you can reach out, you go into our website, The Bear Hug, and that's THEBH Productions without the S.com. And you'll be able to see what we got coming up next. A little bio about myself, how I got started. Bear Hugs basically was originated from my cousin who passed in 2019, very young age, so I wanted to dedicate that to him.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Well, guys, look, man, I can't thank you guys enough for stopping by, coming through.
Yeah.
Also, too, I want to thank Unique Creations again for this wonderful,
Thank you,
wonderful,
thank
wonderful
you,
set.
thank you.
Thank you.
This opportunity to bring my vision and my dream to life. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and
It's beautiful.
having the opportunity to do it in this magnitude.
It's beautiful.
It's big for me.
You got it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, and I hope you guys had fun. I had
Oh
fun.
man, this was a ball.
And like
It flew by. I mean, time really flew by.
Oh
yeah.
man, and like I told you back, off camera, I wanted you guys to be first. It meant a lot to me for you guys to be the first ones to sit in these chairs. And even when I talked to Mr. Smith about my set and all that stuff, I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be intimate. I wanted to be us. I wanted the focus to be on what you guys got going on.
Right.
And I think we captured that today.
Most definitely.
So if you're interested in being a part of the 3Sides Every Story podcast, you need to reach out to me, Taste of Chocolate Poetry and Art on Facebook. You can reach out to me also too on Instagram at B-Board Entertainment. Again, this is B-Board Entertainment TV. And I want to let you guys know that I am so much looking forward to our next interview, having who's going to be up here next. I hope you guys are looking forward to that as well. So for right now, I need you guys to like and subscribe again and follow us, man. Hit that bell so when you know what's going on, it's Unique Creations. 3Sides Every Story podcast. I am your host, B the Gemini, and man, I'll be seeing you guys soon. Appreciate you.
Take care.